We're going to go ahead and call this meeting, regular board meeting of the Lafayette Parish School Board to order. We'd like to start with, if everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and moment of silence. Mr. Bergeron, would you lead us in the pledge? We're going to go straight into information items. 2.1 is the board. It's an introduction of Colson Fontenot, field representative for Congressman Cleo Fields. You come on up, sir. You've got 3 minutes. Thank you.
Perfect.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Colson Fontenot. I'm a field representative for Congressman Fields. I just wanted to come introduce ourselves. I just did a little run. It's kind of rainy out there. But yeah, just wanted to introduce ourselves. We are located in Opelousas. We cover the North District of Lafayette, David Thibodeau, Karen Crow High, the middle and elementary schools as well. But yeah, just wanted to come introduce ourselves. Once again, we're located in Opelousas on 1310 South Union Street. Any federal issues for citizens as well, Social Security, VA, IRS, anything we can assist with, that's why we're here. Congressman is very dedicated to education. Anything y'all are doing that we can also be a part of, we would love to be. So just wanted to introduce ourselves. I have some cards as well. I'll leave some up here, and then I can come past to y'all real quick. Sound good?
Thank you.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and jump to 2.2, Cooperative Endeavor Agreement for Homestead Exemption Adult Audit Services. Want to welcome former board member from District 6, the Honorable New Tax Assessor, Mr. Justin Centani. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. Board members, Mr. President, Superintendent, thank you for having me tonight. It's a pleasure to be back with you. This is actually the first time I've spoken into this microphone, so I'm still kind of adjusting where the distance to have it. The first item in your action agenda is a resolution and cooperative endeavor agreement amongst the 9 taxing bodies whose tax revenue is impacted by the homestead exemption. It's been 12 years since we have audited the homestead exemptions in Lafayette Parish. We have 68,000 of them. And so what we would like to do is audit to make sure that we do not have any homestead exemptions applied to properties that no longer qualify. State law says that you're not allowed to have more than one homestead exemption. Given that a homestead exemption in Lafayette Parish is worth about $650 per property, it's incumbent upon us to make sure that everybody's receiving the entitlements they deserve, but no one is receiving double homesteads. The resolution and the cooperative endeavor agreement will be to allow my office to contract with a company called True Roll, who will go and analyze our homestead exemptions, try to find if any of the property owners have a homestead exemption in any other state or parish, and then present it to my office so that we may go and collect back taxes and make sure that the taxing bodies get the revenue that the voters approve. So I'm here to answer any questions you might have or anything of that nature.
Any board member? Ms. LeBeau?
I would just like to thank you for confirming that we got the right nerd for the job and for always advocating for the school system. Thank you.
You definitely have the right nerd for the job. I'll assure you that we don't have to pay for this twice. We have a software upgrade coming later this year where we'll be able to do this in real time going forward. So I won't ever be coming back with this ever again, hopefully.
Okay. Any other board comments? Yes, you may.
Mr. Centani, I know we had talked briefly about this. And can you put it in very simple terms, what the intention of this is?
The intention is, so the company estimates, given the length of time since we last audited and the number of homestead exemptions that we have, anywhere between 1% and 2% of our homestead exemptions are invalid. So if you take 1.5% as the midpoint of that, that would mean we have about 1,000 invalid homestead exemptions, which means that's about $650,000 in annual revenue that our 9 taxing bodies are foregoing. And so not only will we go back, given the length of the violation, they said an average of 1.5 years. So, we're talking about over $1 million that our local taxing bodies are foregoing due to these invalid homestead exemptions. Plus, you get that revenue going forward as well, because
Right,
the
so
homestead will get
almost
taken
1
off.
million, around $1 million every year.
That's right, of which you guys levy 40% of the property taxes in this parish. So you're talking about $400,000 in one time, plus another $200 per homestead going forward, so.
Thank
It's
you.
not peanuts.
Any other board questions? Thank you, Mr. Santana.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. 2.3 is the regular meeting in October will be moved to Thursday, October 2nd. It's moving from the 9th. That's parent-teacher conference. And we didn't want to have the board meeting on the same night as parent-teacher conference to inconvenience any of our teachers if they'd like to attend the meeting. So we moved it up a week. We'll now move to our action items. 3.1 is discussion on our action on Resolution 06-025-2136, Corporative Endeavor Agreement concerning the Homestead exemption audit. I will accept the motion.
Move approval.
Second. We have a motion by Mr. Hidalgo, seconded by Mr. Edmond. The recommendation is that the board approve Resolution 06-025-2136, Lafayette Parish School Board authorizing the superintendent to enter into cooperative endeavor agreement by and among the taxing bodies concerning the homestead exemption audit mapping system. Is there any public comment? Any board comment? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, I'll call for the vote.
Nine for, none against.
Motion carries. Thank you, Mrs. Santani. We'll move on to 3.2, which is administration. Selection of the third-party administrator, the TPA, for group health insurance. I'll accept the motion. Ms.
I'll
Mason?
make a motion. Thank you. I motion that the board approve the third-party administrator TPA for group health insurance recommended by the superintendent, that the superintendent be authorized to negotiate and enter into a contract for term beginning January 1st, 2026.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Point of order.
Should I go into the superintendent first?
Yeah, that would be my recommendation.
Okay, before the motion, I'll go to the superintendent to get the recommendation. We don't know the recommendation
All
yet.
right, I'll withdraw my motion.
So board members, I had the videographers actually portray something behind you. I want to kind of make sure that you guys know that this has been a very extensive study as far as where we're going, as far as different things. As all of you know, our TPA that we're currently with is Blue Cross. We have been with Blue Cross for 31 years. We did go through a formal process and had Gallagher, our brokers, go out and solicit and see exactly the different things that came about. They actually came up with this synopsis of things, and it focuses on 3 different companies. I want to direct your attention to 2 particular ones that I really want us to kind of just make sure that we are paying attention to. One is disruption. We have several of our employees, our retirees that are here. When you consider all of these different things, there are some things that me and our team, along with Gallagher, regardless of where we go, we're going to have to work towards. Remember, nothing changes until January 1, so we will move forward as far as that. Direct your attention to claims. So if you look at claims, what we did is we took the exact same claims, the claims that took place last year, and we sent them out to these 3 different parties, and we said, price this as if this was something that you were going to kind of work, or you would be our TPA. You will see that, again, we have 0 because this is where we are with Blue Cross. Then you go to UMR, and it's a $1.2 million. I'm sorry, $1.4 million. And then we go to the Meritain, which is $2 million. So every single one of us in here, I want us to kind of have a clear understanding is that the TPAs here do not direct our insurance. Our insurance plan that we have is our insurance plan. It's not Blue Cross, it's not Meritain, it's not UMR. We are the insurance company, we are self-insured. So if you're covered now, you're covered then, wherever we go. Here is the things that I can tell you, and this is only one piece. The TPA is controlling what things go in and out, but it's also working toward that claim column as far as savings money. We are $6 million right now in debt, and we have to take from the general fund to actually fill that as far as health insurance. Gallagher is telling us we need an additional 5 to 6 to be able to fill this void if we stay in the same boat. All I'm going to say to you is this is not going to get us anywhere, but we have to move in a different direction. And I'm going to recommend that we can get all of these allowances. We can look at all of these different things. But when we talk about claims, if we would have been with these other companies, we would have had $2 more million in our pocket. We'd have had $1.4 million in our pocket. All I'm saying to you is that the one company that I really feel that is going to give us that option, but also, listen to this, direct contracting with companies. We have 10,000 lives that are on our health insurance. And we feel as though Meritain will be the TPA that will provide us with savings, but also provide us with opportunities to go and save more money through direct contracting. So my recommendation is that we go with Meritain, along with Aetna as far as the RAP is concerned. We start working toward how we reduce these disruptions. We could use that as far as direct contracting. The one thing that I'm really certain that we're going to need help with is that direct contracting. We're gonna get a commitment from them that they will help us hire someone to be able to do something as far as going out to Lourdes and going out to Ochsner and going out and being a part of what we can do to get more cost savings. So that is my recommendation, that we go with Meritain, with Verity, with Aetna as a wrap.
Okay, now that we have the superintendent's recommendation, Ms. Mason, I'll accept your motion.
All right, I'd like to make the motion that the board approve the third-party administrator, TPA, for group health insurance recommended by the superintendent, and that the superintendent be authorized to negotiate and enter into contract for term beginning January 1st, 2026.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second by Mr. Hidalgo. If I may, ladies and gentlemen, I know I'm the president and I'm supposed to run the meeting. Mr. Hidalgo is the chairman of the insurance committee and is very versed in that. I will go ahead and turn the gavel and the floor over to Mr. Hidalgo.
Thank you, Mr. President. It sounded like a lot of excitement out there. At this time, we have a motion and a second on the floor. We are going to go directly into public comment. Unlike the extremely productive workshop that was held earlier this week, where it was question and answer period. Today is a formal board meeting, and so today's meeting is calling for public comment. So We're not going to go into Q&A today. Please be mindful of that. You will have 3 minutes. When you come up to the stand here, please speak clearly into the microphone. Identify yourself, first and last name, please. And you'll have 3 minutes to speak to the motion on the floor that the board approved the third-party administrator for group health insurance recommended by the superintendent. So we can take 2 folks up at a time. And then, of course, when someone's finished, another person can come and take that seat. We'll open it up for public comment.
Thank you. My name's Brian Keller. I've been with Blue Cross for 30 years, about the same amount of time y'all been with us. And, first, I wanted to thank y'all for the number of years you've allowed us to serve you. I know y'all are making a hard decision. You're showing some numbers on the board. Y'all have good consultants with Gallagher. Those are estimates of savings and what's going to occur. We sent a letter to y'all, showed the actual savings the last 5 years. 69% discounts across the board, 5 years in a row, which equates to a lot of money. I know the health insurance is expensive, and you made a great point, Mr. Touche. It is your plan. Y'all control it. We do the administration for you, or maybe in the future somebody else. So again, I wanted to say thanks, but I do want you to look at the real savings. These are estimates based off what people submit, and I can tell you not everybody submits everything equally because it's a complicated business. I don't dispute that you can negotiate with some providers to get a deal. We negotiate for 2 million people in the state of Louisiana. I talked to the heads of Ochsner, FMOL, others. You may get a discount with one of them. I'd be hard-pressed to see you're going to get better discounts than we get that substantially save money. But if you go that route, I wish you luck with it for 10,000 people versus 2 million people. If by chance y'all leave us, I'd ask you a year from now, 2 years from now, look hard at what you were promised, see if you got it. If you didn't, we will welcome you back with open arms to work with you again. We want you to succeed. We're part of this community. We're part of the state. We're the only not-for-profit. When we make money, we put it back in the community to either lower rates or invest in the community. So we're not going anywhere. I've been here 30 years. I'm not going anywhere for a while. So again, if things change, we will be around. We will welcome you back. If you leave, we will assist with it from data, whatever, because we appreciate the 30 years you allowed us to serve you. But remember, you're looking at estimates. Look at some hard numbers as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Is there any more public comment on this item? Okay. Ms. Mounts? Did already. We can have two up at a time, so if whoever's going to be planning to speak, please come up to the podium in the interest of time and take their seat.
Nancy Mounts. The other thing that was not said about Blue Cross Blue Shield is that they are a nonprofit in our state. I've attended most of the board insurance committee meetings, if not all, and it's been clear from the very beginning that there was a desire to get away from Blue Cross Blue Shield. In fact, the superintendent was on the radio yesterday and announced that there would be no increase in premiums. So we all knew yesterday that Blue Cross was not going to be chosen. ERISA, a federal law governing private health plans, always recommends the use of an RFP. We had requested that. The RFP that I've been told is crucial for selecting, specifically a TPA, to provide a structured way to solicit bids, clarify requirements, compare proposals, ensure transparency, and result in an informed and objective decision. Unfortunately, we did not have an RFP. Prior to this administration, LPSS used RFPs even for smaller projects like voluntary benefits. Apparently, that's not going to happen anymore. According to the LPSS consultant, as of Monday, they did a market search. They did not do an RFP. Yet we got a letter from LPSS on Tuesday that said, and I quote, "A comprehensive group health RFP has been completed by the consultant and reviewed by the board insurance committee." Mr. Hidalgo, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that happened. The consultant pre-selected some firms to which they gave questions, I think they said 200, and with whom they met several times and then met with the administration. We requested to hear from Blue Cross, United, and Meritain. Just like the request for the RFP, that too was denied. Never before has the board insurance committee from LPSS asked the superintendent to make a recommendation. We asked that the board insurance committee vote and make a recommendation to the full board. That too was denied. And before I leave this microphone, just as a last comment, and so you know, in case you don't, since January of 2025, there has been one no vote on this board. Of all the meetings, all the agenda items, there has been one no vote, and it speaks volumes. Thank you very much.
Ma'am, before you go, before you take the mic, I want to address a couple of things to the public. I think that's very important. The process that took place, the market check that took place was just as intense, if not more intense, than an RFP. There were several hundred questions put out. I'm not going to, Gallagher can come up and talk about the process. It was months of work. It wasn't called an RFP. If we needed to call it that to make anyone feel better, we apologize. But this process was extremely intense. And also, the decision not to make a recommendation was explained at the last meeting. The decision not to vote and to allow the superintendent to make a recommendation was very much explained. So, Ms. Mounts, I always appreciate it when you come to the mic because you bring a lot of value to the table. But it's a little far-fetched sometimes, you know, some of the statements. And so I want to make sure that the public has both sides of the story. And I want to make sure that we all understand that this market check was arguably more intense than a traditional RFP. Ma'am?
Good evening. My name is Shelby Conway. I'm the Director of Sales and Account Management for UMR and United Healthcare. This is Travis Stead, Account Executive with United Healthcare. I want to thank you for the opportunity to provide comments to you today, and certainly for the opportunity to be a proposer in this process to the board and to Gallagher as well. We understand the huge responsibility you carry in making decisions that impact thousands of employees and millions in taxpayer dollars. But want to make sure that the current recommendation is based on assurances and that you've considered the merits of our proposal. Our proposal is delivering immediate, measurable savings in better network discounts than you have today, guaranteed by contracts that have already been negotiated and are in place today. We're also offering you enhanced clinical programs, claims mitigation strategies, payment integrity programs, all that will assist you in managing the cost of your $70 million health plan beyond just what negotiated contracts can provide. To save $6 to $7 million, you're going to need to look beyond just what negotiated provider contracts can provide and allowables and utilize really a multitude of strategies. And we think we can assist you with that. Also offering significantly improved employee and employer experiences, transparent data, administrative support. And we've backed all of those promises by putting 65% of our fees at risk, 40% tied to our provider discounts, and 25% to our service performance. Are the vendors being recommended offering those same guarantees to you? We're also offering $1 million to offset transition costs with no early termination penalties. I know the slide says that, but we did remove those. and multi-year credits. And these are not just empty credits. These reflect our confidence in delivering results to you, both financial results and operational results. Have other vendors made those similar commitments and are waiving those payback provisions, demonstrating confidence in their success? And we do support Lafayette Parish School System's interest in direct contracting and have offered to administer those contracts. However, we cannot ethically sit at the table and negotiate with providers where we already have agreements in place, but certainly agree to administer any contracts that you negotiate. We have local experience and proven success in the Lafayette market. We are already a trusted partner and respected by many local organizations, which we have provided as references to your team. We have 657 United Healthcare clients and 25 UMR clients with 65,000 members ranging from school boards, health systems, sheriff's offices, and private industry in the 708 zip code area. Have recommended vendors provided those verifiable references using the same configuration of the Verity Aetna Meritain proposal. In closing, we ask that the board consider the risk of the risk you have in front of you and the proven value of our proposal. We know this is not just a financial decision, but a
3 minutes is
strategic
up,
one.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
I was going to give you a little bit more time, but it's over.
All right.
You're up, sir.
Thank you so much.
together.
We're
Okay.
together, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
No, that, you see, I was given more time. All right, do we have any other public comment on the motion that's on the floor? I'll ask one more time, just to make sure we understand that this will be the last opportunity to make public comment on this motion. Thank you. Any board comment?
I'll kick this off. All right, so look, I just want to, I know changing providers, right? There's some concern for the future, right? Both in terms of what does the fund look like? What do our premiums look like? What does our coverage look like? What's going to be our relationship with this new TPA? Are they capable, right? Because everything's going to be tested, and we're going to run through the process and make sure that we're good to go around disruptions. Mr. Superintendent, Mike, I just want to stress the importance of, if we change TPAs, because I don't know how this next vote's going to go, like that the next 6 months is critical for the insurance department to make sure that we dot every I and cross every T, and that disruption number goes from 4% to as close to 0 as possible. This is a big move. Like, I know we didn't get a whole lot of public comment, and I just want to stress the importance to the board, how big of a vote this is. And I'll give some of my insight for this. My concern is this, and I got 2.5 years left on the board, barring how a next election looks, right? We could have a whole new board. I don't want them to have to rehash the insurance, I don't call it a fight, but the insurance struggles that we've been having. Ms. Dow, you said it best, like we've been talking about insurance changes or trying to right this ship since 2015. I do have some concerns, right? I don't think it's enough concerns for us to say it's not a worthwhile decision to make about moving TPAs. And I think we have to be very considerate of the vote we make tonight. My concern, again, going back to the next board, is like, you know, whenever the vote to force a migration to Humana came up, we said no, right? That was an option. The board said no. In fact, I don't even think we got a second for it, right? Whenever we brought to October a huge increase to retirees on insurance, that was a 6-3 no vote, and we came back and went back and forth. And Gallagher, that was a tough night, but you know, we did what we had to do to try and make the right decision that night. If we keep saying no to solutions that don't keep premiums at a minimal, I feel that we're just going to keep throwing money at a problem, right? And whenever I ran for office, a lot of people told me, you can't just keep throwing money at a problem to solve it. So I think tonight, this is a good step to helping make sure the insurance fund is solvent. We know we're going to come back. Next month's insurance committee meeting is going to be the same thing. We have some more recommendations coming down the pipeline for cost savings. We're staring down a very serious problem with the fund. And if we don't right-size it, we'll have to go back to traditional insurance, which I can guarantee you there will be a change of benefits, and we'll be having a lot deeper discussion about the health care of the individuals on our insurance plan. So that's my comments for tonight, but thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. LeBeau?
Thank you. I do want to thank Blue Cross Blue Shield, and thank you for your reassurances that, this is not a forever commitment. I know that doesn't, my understanding, we're entering into a one-year contract. We will make sure that that one-year contract is ready to go when it starts in January, and that we will monitor it closely to make sure this TPA, however the vote comes out, performs. Whether it's we stay with Blue Cross or we move with somebody else, we're going to have to stay on it. But the good thing is, it is a one-year contract, and we've heard verbally that Blue Cross Blue Shield would be willing to welcome us back. It doesn't escape us that we just voted 30 minutes ago for a $656 million budget. That's what we're managing, and this is 1/6 of it. It's over $100 million. I think the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and hoping for a different result. We know we need to make changes. We know we need to figure out how we can continue, as Roddy said, to stay solvent. If we don't keep this fund solvent, we open up such a bad situation. And so we have to do things to keep this solvent. I know change is scary, change is hard, but we have the right, I think, administration in place. We have definitely the right partnerships in place. We are going to negotiate these contracts by January, and I think we're going to find ourselves more vested in watching our insurance and finding new solutions than we've ever been before, because this is a problem that, for me, being on the school board, I don't think I've ever seen a larger focus on insurance than we have had in the last year. So I just want to say thank you to the many people that have spent hours and months in putting into this. I just want to say that I know that this is not an easy solution. I know it's not going to rest easy with anyone, but I do think that we are, I'm very thankful that we have staff in place that has given out more information than we've ever given out before. I think this was thoroughly vetted. I think that the town hall was wonderful. So I think that, I really want everybody that if you have questions, concerns, and problems, please come and get the answers, because we're trying to put out all the information that we can, and please spread the word. But please know this decision is not being made lightly, and I do appreciate the fact that everybody has put 110% into getting as much information and town halls and opportunity for people to speak as possible. I want to thank Blue Cross again, and I want to say that no matter what happens, we care about this issue, and that's why we're trying to do something that will continue to permit the insurance that we've promised to teachers, we promised to retirees since the system was founded. So thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I'd also like to thank Blue Cross. And I know change is hard. Fear of the unknown is hard. Mr. Touchette, the 4% disruption, if we go with this group, how is your team going to help us out with that 4% that nobody's health care is going to get disrupted?
So first thing is, on my calendar right now at 1 o'clock, whoever is being selected will be in my office, and we're going to start off exactly with that question. Let's look at the disruptions. Let's make sure that we start getting involved. I want to know exactly what direct contracting is going to look like as far as these different individuals that are on the 4%. And I can tell you that we have until January, and Mr. Hidalgo has, pushed on us as far as where we need to go as far as that. Mr. Bajeron, I'm well ahead of you. It's on my calendar. Monday at 1 o'clock, whoever's chosen is going to be in my office, and we're going to be meeting, and we're going to be giving specifics about what my expectations are based on what you guys want us to accomplish moving forward. So we're going to do everything we can. We've had good discussions with our retirees, with our actives. The plan is our plan. And what I don't want is that if we go with a plan that is still costing us that kind of money, we have to go to premium increases and we have to go to taking care of the plan as far as deductibles are concerned. We just gave our teachers a raise. How insignificant would that be if you go in a different direction? Because I'm going to have to make a recommendation because monies are just coming out and we just can't continue. We're going to have to generate it some way or another. So we have a strategic plan. It starts with the TPA. We're going to move into the RX plan after. We're going to make decisions based upon what happens in those two things of how this insurance plan moves forward. But we can't continue to go to our teachers and our retirees as far as getting it out of their pockets, making them pay more as far as the deductibles, so on and so forth. So we're going to be very on top of this. We have a good leader in Trish and her department, and they hear exactly what you guys are saying, and we're going to dot every I and we're going to cross every T.
And in the recommendation you made, who handles the direct negotiation?
The negotiations with them would be me and my team will work with them as far as specifics, as far as the plan is concerned.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to address something that Mr. Lejeune pointed out, with a 4% disruption. This was something that came up in the discussions and in the presentations with the 3 different entities that presented, and during those discussions we identified that there's actually one provider that is 2% of this. So, and we've already reached out to that provider to talk with them and see if they would be open to coming in on our plan. So, these are the numbers now. I mean, they are estimates, and from preliminary talks, it sounds like we're going to be getting much better deals for our employees and their families. So, thank you.
Just one note, and I guess this is for the insurance committee, finance committee, and superintendent. As part of our monthly insurance committee, can we get a progress updates on how the transition's going if we decide to move? Like, I think it'd be part of the. Okay, I just want to make sure.
It's all part of the plan.
I want a progress report every month. See where we're headed. Thank you.
Any other board member comments? Before we go to vote, I will take this opportunity to echo and thank Blue Cross for the service. That is a long time to have a relationship and a partnership. We, Ms. Kate kind of stole what I was going to say in that, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And this is not about picking winners and losers. In fact, that's one of the reasons we made some of the decisions we made regarding insurance last budget year. I'm sorry, not last budget year, but the last major decisions we made during the middle of the plan year was not to pick winners and losers. But the fact is that no matter what we do, whether we stay where we are or move, there is going to be disruption because we're going to have to make certain changes in narrow networks and things of that nature where now there's going to be disruption no matter what. We don't like disruption, and that is the entire reason that we are challenging or somewhat challenging this process. I'm not glad that we have to go through this process, but I'm going to say it again. We are the fiduciaries of this health insurance plan. We have several things to consider when we make these decisions, one of which is how it's going to impact people's lives and people's health care. Our major focus as board members are to our students. That is our mission. We are obligated to the taxpayers and the students of this district to do the right thing. We have done the best thing for many years. We have to pivot from doing the best thing and start doing the right thing. And that doesn't mean getting rid of vendors. That means everybody had an ample opportunity to bring a different value to the table. There is no other insurance plan, health insurance plan in our market that's larger than we are as it relates to being self-insured. We have to take advantage of the leverage we have, especially the relationships we already have with so many providers within our district. We are a hub city. We have an advantage here to do what's right by our retirees, by our actives, and by our taxpayers and the students in this district. To say this is an easy decision, or to say, well, you guys sit up there and you guys just, you hear this information or that information. I've been on the insurance committee since my first term. This topic has been just as hot, just as heavy since back then. We have decided to do the best thing, do the political thing, take the political pressure. We have to do the right thing. If we do this and it doesn't work, we tried it, we gave it our best effort, and no one is going to go without health care coverage. No one. So I hate that we're in this position right now, but this is where we are. And if we don't do something different, it is unsustainable, ladies and gentlemen. We've heard it. It is unsustainable. There's no way to, the rate at which our health insurance plan is being eaten up is unprecedented for us. Any other board member comments?
That's got one short one, because my interest obviously lies with the former employees who have a certain expectation of coverage and things like that. And I do agree. I'm so tired of this subject coming up. I really am. Not tired enough to not argue it. If it's the right move, it's the right move. But ultimately, doesn't mean it's going to be the last time it's talked about. If we start getting back things that are saying that it's not working, I'm willing to fight again. I'm willing to do 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock meetings to fight it out. But I'm so tired of our retirees having to worry about it as well. Just to see the stress on their face that when's it's going to come up again, what's going to happen next, they're spending most of their time in here researching and attending meetings when they should just be retired and enjoying themselves. So hopefully this is a step towards that. Going to continue to fight no matter what if it's not the right thing, and I think we all will. So I'm just on board with you guys. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to knock this out and be done.
As long as I'm a school board member, as long as the president of the board keeps me on the insurance committee, and as long as the committee keeps me as their chairman, this topic is going to be stayed on top of, if you could imagine. We left it on autopilot for too long. No disrespect to anyone, Blue Cross, no disrespect to anyone. It was on autopilot too long. We have to hold ourselves accountable and keep this process fair and balanced. With that said, Madam Secretary, I'd like to call for the vote.
Eight for, one against.
Motion carries. Mr. President, thank you. It's back to you.
Thank you for running that, Mr. Hidalgo. I appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and go to the consent agenda. I'm going to read each and every item. If you want something pulled, please pull it and we'll discuss it. Ladies and gentlemen, our consent agenda, any comments are limited to 3 minutes, and your comments are for or against. It's not question and answer. I'll go ahead and start with 4.1. Administration discussing or action concerning the proposed plan of reorganization and reclass of staff and changes in job descriptions related thereto, and there will be a zero impact to the 2025-2026 general fund budget. 4.2, discussion or action concerning the proposed code of conduct for the 2025-2026 student handbook. 4.3, discussion and or action regarding point solutions. 4.4, discussion and or action concerning an adjustment to the 2024-2025 salary schedule. 4.5, discussion and or action concerning the 2025-26 salary schedule. 4.6, discussion and or action to use contingency funds and reallocated funds for improvements to facilities. 4.7, discussion and or action concerning declaration of surplus property at Catherine Drexel Elementary School. 4.8, discussion and action concerning the May budget to actual revisions for fiscal year 24-25. 4.9, discussion and action concerning resolution 06-025-2138, final approval of the assurance of sales tax revenue bond series 2025. 4.10, discussion and action concerning compensation to school bus owners, operators for insurance. 4.11, discussion and action concerning the servitude agreement with the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government. 4.12, discussion and action concerning resolution 06-025-2139, official journal for Lafayette Parish School Board. And 4.13 is discussion and action concerning the minutes of March 12th, 25, and May 6th and 15th of 2025. And 4.14 is approval of all consent items. Do I have a motion to approve all items not pulled?
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve all items not pulled.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Bergeron, seconded by Ms. Mason, that we approve all items not pulled, which is every single one of them. We have no items not pulled. If there's any public comment on any item not pulled, please come up and state which item you'd like to speak on. No public comment? Any board comment?
Over here. Just 2 quick points.
Sure.
So 4.3, point solutions. That's another thing we've been talking about on the insurance committee. So that's another additional cost savings to Fund 85, our insurance plan. So just want to point out to anyone, if anyone's asking what that is. It's another savings that, it's a money savings. It's not we're not reducing healthcare benefits. It's another just pure cost savings on that. So 411, this has to do with the light by Lafayette High, correct? Yeah. Have they given us a time frame on that light?
Doc, is Robert here?
Sure.
Ms. Mason?
I just want to provide some historical perspective on this. This light at Marie Antoinette for Lafayette High was required by LCG back when we were planning on building the school. So it's been in the plans for 5 years. And just now, LCG is finally making this happen. It has been the most bureaucratic process I've ever been involved with. So I'm very glad to see this happening. Put that on the record.
Is that all you have to say on that, Ms. Mason? Any other public comment, board comment? Mr. Hidalgo?
Mr. Bergeron, thank you for touching on 4.3, the point solutions. That is going to be another big deal for us moving forward. These are just 2 of several more to come. And I omitted in my statements on the last item, but it's relevant to this one. So anyone from the public, anyone on our current plan has any questions about anything at all, please reach out to us. Reach out to Trish, her team. There's an FAQ online that a lot of the more popular questions that have been asked, she has established an FAQ so you can go in and go through that. But please ask the questions. This is, they're going to work as hard as they can to make this seamless and cut out any bumps in the road. Also, the committee meetings. I know you guys are retired, and thank you for your service. Please come to our committee meetings. Coming to just the committee meetings where the big decisions are made, that's not where the sausage is made. We gotta come to the committee meetings where we're actually hearing the data, and then we have several more months of processes to go through to close those gaps. So please come to our meetings. They're only once a month. We try to keep them to an hour. We do it a lot of times either at 9 a.m. or at 2 p.m. I get sometimes it's boring, but that's where the rubber meets the road, in those meetings, where we learn where we are and how to move forward. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Ms. LeBeau?
I just want to point out 4.10, we are helping the owner-operators of the buses. Those are the drivers that actually own their own buses with their insurance. But I also want to encourage everybody to look at our website. We have a lot of openings for bus attendants, bus drivers. Transportation is vital to our district to get these kids to the school. So we have a lot of job openings on there. So please go to lpssonline.com and look at job openings, but especially in the transportation area. These are the first people the kids see in the morning and the last people they see in the afternoon. They're a vital role to our school system. We recognize that. We've tried to give them as many pay incentives as possible, and we know their values. So just want to encourage anybody out there that we do pay for CDL training, and we provide the training, and it's a wonderful employment with lots of flexibility. So just encourage everybody to get on lpssonline.com and look at our job openings. Thank you.
Any other board comment before I go to the vote? Madam Secretary, I'll call for the vote. While we wait for the vote, Mr. Edmond, you asked for a moment.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. Board members and members of the public, I want to acknowledge two organizations at this time. We got Voice of the Experience with Mr. Marcus Simmons and Dr. Minor here, and also Speaking to Inspire Through Experience with Mr. Chad and Mr. Jennifer Landry. These two organizations is boot on the ground every week in different organization meetings in the Lafayette community, and they have showed real interest in education and the safety for our kids, not just in District 3 and District 4, but all 9 districts. And I want to just tell y'all, thank y'all personally and publicly for standing up for our kids day in and day out. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Has everybody voted?
9 for, none against.
Motion carries. Before they adjourn, I'll give the floor to the superintendent.
So first of all, board members, members of the public, I want to acknowledge our Bessie board member, Mr. Kevin Birkin, that is here. I want to first of all thank him for being in attendance and also for his support on the Bessie board. But tonight is also a night of which this is going to be the last board meeting for two very important people, part of my senior level team. First, Mr. Matt Duga, as you all know, is going to be retiring, and this will be his last board meeting. At the end of this month, Matt is going to continue his travels and continue to do the things that he has been doing over this last couple of years. And last, we have Ms. Janine LaFleur, our Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction. Janine is going to be having her last meeting. She is going to be retiring. And first, thanks to both of you for what you have done as far as dedicating yourselves to the students and to the teachers here in Lafayette Parish. So again, thank you guys for everything that you've done, and good luck.
Y'all will truly be missed. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our final item on the agenda. This meeting is adjourned.